Okay, so today I'm doing another speed build. I don't really have a name for this one yet. For now, I'm just calling it split level because that's kind of what it is, I guess. It's a family home. This build just kind of came from nowhere. Usually I do my builds when I just see something or someone sends me something or I'm like challenged to try and build something. But with this one I just kind of felt like trying something new. Pretty much every build I do is something that I've never done before, I guess. And so that's what this is. Just trying to better my skills as a builder, I guess, and learn how to do different techniques. And for this build, it's split levels because I've never done that. I've watched lots of other builders do split levels, but I haven't tried it myself yet. And I think it worked out pretty well. There were some complications that came up that I wasn't really expecting, and you'll see that in the screenshots. A couple things I wasn't really sure how to fix. What I should do is watch the SimSupply's video on his split level. He kind of does like a tutorial, and I really should watch that because I feel like that's going to be just so helpful. Yeah, so there were a few complications in this house, but I think it turned out pretty good for the most part. It wasn't too bad. It's a bit of a smaller home, but I think I used the space really well. The only thing I had a vision for was the kitchen, and it's funny because that turned out to be, I think, the best room in the house. I'm like really pleased with how the kitchen turned out. Yeah, so right now I'm just kind of getting the shape of the house. The upstairs was hard because I wanted it to be smaller than the downstairs, but I also wanted it to hold 3 rooms and 2 bathrooms. And there was no way for me to do that if the upstairs was going to be that small, so I had to stretch it out and make it bigger. And of course the roofing is my biggest struggle. It always will be. I'm never going to be good at it because it's just something I don't understand. I think some builders I watch and they're just naturals, like they know where the roof should go, how big they should be, how they can flow into each other, and then I do it and I'm like, this looks like it was built by a toddler. So I don't know, sometimes I'm still not that happy with how these things turn out, but I'm getting a little bit better. My thing is furnishing though. That's kind of where my specialty is. I'm still not like perfect at it, but I think that I'm a lot better at furnishing than I am at building. But I still want to be good at building because I still enjoy doing it, and yeah, I like making these videos. So what I really like to do the most though is go on to the gallery and find builds that are unfurnished and then furnish them. That's my thing. Or even if it is furnished, I just download it without the furniture in it, and then I go in and completely furnish and decorate it. And that's pretty much how I do, like even when I'm playing the game, if I get a sim to move out of their house and into a new house, I download it off the gallery, but I furnish it myself because I enjoy doing it, and I do think that I'm better at it than a lot of people, so that's kind of why I like to do it myself. Yeah, so that's mostly what I do. I don't often live in the houses that I build, but for a few of the ones that I've done so far, I do intend to have my Sims live in them when I start my next Legacy Challenge. I'm not sure if I'll do an LP on that one or not. I might just do like an updates like I do with the Decades Challenge, so I can just kind of play in my spare time. Yeah, so this house, I'm really looking forward to living in this one. Even if I don't, I always save them, I'll put them on the gallery, and that way I can download them later too, and so can anyone else that might like them. This house has had a lot of downloads. I did this build like a week ago, and so it's been on the gallery for about a week, and it's had a lot of downloads. I think it's had the second most downloads that I've ever had on a build, which is really exciting for me because I like the idea of somebody, playing with a house that I built, even if they, got it and put it in their own furniture or whatever. I just like the idea of knowing that somebody liked it and they wanted to have it in their game. And so this one did get quite a few downloads. The one that I have had the most downloads with is the SimSupply posted. I know I always talk about him. I'm a little obsessed. He posted he shared a house that was unfinished. It wasn't even really a house. It was just some walls and stairs, and windows and some other stuff. Like, it was really nothing, and it was just called Unfinished. So I put that in my game, finished it. I think I did a really good job with it, and then I re-uploaded it to the gallery. I credited him, obviously, because he did the base work, and that one was really good, and it's had the most downloads that I've ever done. Unfortunately, I did that one way before I ever started a YouTube channel, so not even way before, but before I started a YouTube channel, so I don't have a speed build of it, but it was really fun to do, and yeah, I really enjoyed being able to finish something that he started. And I really want him to do more of those, like put up more of his unfinished builds, because I think that's the most fun I've ever had, is getting to work on something that he started. He's just probably the best builder that I watch, and I don't really want to have the same style as him, though. He does a lot of newer builds and like super modern, and I'm not really into it. But he's just so good at it that it's hard not to not to watch every video he posts, which I do, of course. Yeah, so I think basically I got like the whole layout done for the downstairs and the upstairs. Just putting in some lights so I can actually see what I'm doing. That little back part in the house, you're probably thinking like, what the hell's going on there? I do go back to it and kind of play around with it, and it gets better. But I always thought that, you know, split level houses were kind of cool, and I've never really even played in them, but there are some things that you don't really think about. Like, for instance, the game recognizes that lower floor as an entirely different floor, so like the ceiling doesn't show up all the time for the floor next to it. It's really weird, and you'll see it in the screenshots, but if that doesn't bother you, then it's probably it's gonna be a good house to live in. The kitchen was hands down the best kitchen I've, well, not ever done. I don't know if it's the best kitchen I've ever done, but it's the best room in the house. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I did want to put a lot of detail in this house. I wanted to make it very, I always say this, I wanted to make it look lived in, but I did. I wanted it to look like a very cozy family home. It's not very big, it's pretty modest. It turns out to be 3 bedrooms. I think I set it up for like parents and then 2 young boys. Yeah, so I think that I pretty much nailed what I was going for. I think I made good use of all the space in the house, and I liked that it wasn't just a square with no other walls. Like, there's some, I don't know, there's more depth to it than just a plain house. So I'm happy with that, and I really like, what really tied everything together is that backsplash, the rocks. That stonework really, I think, finished the kitchen, made it look really good. I'm super happy with it. I can't wait to play in this house and use that kitchen. I really, really like it. And I think I like all the stuff that came with the Parenthood pack, because it's all stuff that makes your house look super cozy and lived in. And so that's why I like using it. The dining room was a little tough because I was trying not to use just the stuff from the Parenthood pack, but I don't know, it just ended up suiting this house so much better than anything else. So I do end up using a lot of the stuff from that pack. I had a vision for the dining room, and then it didn't come together quite the way that I thought it would. So I had to kind of play around with it, and ended up going with this kind of red theme, that red color. I didn't finish the dining room right away, so I do come back to it. I think I just left it like this, put a rug there and then left it. Or maybe I actually have not, I put the rug in later, I think. I can't remember. But it was a tougher room for me to do because I just couldn't figure out what I wanted. And then I thought maybe I would put carpet in there and then put a wall to make it kind of closed in with maybe an arch. So then I thought, okay, I'll put the wall in. That was my first thought. But of course, it just didn't look good. And then it made it made everything look too small. It made the kitchen look too small. It made the dining room look too small. I wanted it all to be open concept, so I just left it. But I do come back to the dining room to put in some other items. And then the bathroom, more Parenthood stuff. That tile or that walling. That wall is I don't even know what to call it. I guess it's tile. Is from the Parenthood pack. It's hard to work in these rooms when you can't really see what you're doing. I know there are camera controls, but I suck at using them. I'm really bad at it. I've even watched tutorials on how to use the camera while you're building, but I don't know, I'm just so engrossed in building that I don't want to have to worry about the camera. So yeah, this is just like the little entranceway. I put in some shoe racks, and I put in some mirrors behind the shoe racks. It's a little annoying if you're when you're actually in live mode, because the mirrors, they don't just disappear like pictures and wall hangings do. They are still there, so they're kind of in the way of the bathroom if you're playing. But if it doesn't, like you can see now, if it doesn't bother you, then they make perfect sense there. But if they're annoying, you can just get rid of them. The foundation on the inside of the house was really tough because it doesn't want to flow with the actual walls of the house, so I couldn't make that white paint go all the way down. This house just considers that foundation to be something totally separate, so you have to pick a different color, and that was honestly the one that I could get the closest to what I had, because I wanted it to be flat. I didn't want it to stick out like the rock stonework on the outside, so that was the only one that really made any sense. And so I wanted half of this half of this to be the living room, and then the other half to be like an office area, and that's pretty much what it turned out to be. I've seen in a lot of builds they use the countertops for like a TV stand, and I did try to do that, but then those cupboards wouldn't set down on the ground. Even if I tried using like the 9 and 0 key, you can use those to raise things up and down, but they still weren't working, so I couldn't do that. So I just ended up going for just an end table underneath the TV. And I never use this couch, but I do really like it, so I'm happy that it's in this build. The coffee table from the Parenthood pack makes another appearance. I'm constantly using that. And I know that table is actually to be placed outside because it's got that little like rug on it, but I like the way it looked there, so I kept it. And I think I just put in a couple of bookshelves on either side of the TV. Yeah. And I guess it looks okay. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not sure what else I would have really done. It's just hard when it just looks so incomplete because the color of the foundation there is like a blue color. It's supposed to be gray, but it's showing up as blue. It's as blue as those curtains on the wall. So yeah, it's a little frustrating. And then I put that stonework along that wall and the other wall next to it as well. I thought it just gave it kind of a retro vibe, like maybe this house was built a long time ago, like in the 70s, and I kind of like that, so I kept it. And yeah, it just kind of worked. I like the retro look. I'm excited. The generation I'm the most excited for in my Decades Challenge is the 70s. Like, I can't wait to get like the orange carpets and yeah, the stonework like that. I'm really excited. I was thinking I might even do a speed build of the house from that 70s show and see if I can get my Decades Challenge to the family to live in that house in the 70s. That I would be living for that, honestly. That would be perfect. So this is like a little office area. Yeah, I did have that little bit of foundation sticking out. I thought I could get creative with it, and then it turned out I really didn't know what to put there, so I got rid of it and just pushed it back a little bit because it felt like a balcony or like a little deck on the inside of the house, and I didn't really like that, so I just put in half walls and a couple of pillars, and then I put the computer desk on the other side of the room because I wanted to put like a big cabinet on the other side. I'm really surprised that I can remember what I'm doing because this I built a week ago, and I actually have done another build since this one, so I'm surprised that I can remember what I did. But I remember pretty clearly I put in a cabinet there. I had trouble finding one that I really liked because that one I find is almost too tall. Like the plates on the top of the cabinet there would like touch the ceiling, but I just went with it anyway, and I really wanted to use that fish tank. I think it came with the Cats and Dogs stuff pack, the most useless pack in the world, but that is pretty much the only thing I like from that pack, and I haven't used it yet, so I decided I wanted to put that in there somewhere. And then along that wall, it just looks so bare and empty. I was going to put a chair there, and now looking at it, I kind of wish that I had. Just putting some clutter items there, but yeah, I wish that I had put a chair there. I was doing it anyway, and then I just didn't. I ended up putting a table with a plant on it, I think, which is fine too, but I think a chair would have made a little more sense. Yeah, and I guess even if you wanted the office and living room to be separated by a wall, you could even just put a wall there with an arch or a door or whatever. But I wanted it to be really open at the back. So yeah, I just put that table there with some stuff on it, and just a few more items to make it a little more lived in and cluttered up. The staircase to me looked so plain and boring, so I think I ended up putting like a wall hanging there. And now just trying to put some more stuff in the dining room. I put up it's not a hobby board, it's like an activity board, I guess, from the Parenthood pack. I don't actually use it very often, but I do, I place it often, but I don't actually use it very often. Just putting some like curtains and window coverings and a plant there. And then for the rug, I ended up, I tried out so many, but there was a purple one that I actually really liked. It kind of looked weird. Well, no, it looked good, I thought, the red and the purple. I liked the contrast, so I just kept it like that. I thought it was like a nice pop of color, I guess, in the dining room. And yeah, then I would just put like a little sunflower painting there, and yeah, there was really nothing else I could do on that floor. I didn't want it to be cluttered to the point where it was unplayable, so I just kind of left it like that. And then upstairs, we get into the parents' bedroom. I chose the tackiest bed for them, but I really liked it. I think I change it. Yeah, I do. It's the one from the Cats and Dogs game pack, and it's got like that quilt. It's really tacky looking, but that's okay. I kind of liked it anyway. And I really liked that dresser, so I wanted to make that work. And then I kind of struggled to find side tables that were the same color as either the bed or the dresser, because the bed and the dresser are actually different colors, but everything I used I didn't really like. So I did end up using something that I didn't think was perfect, but I thought it was good enough. I thought by now I'd figured, yeah, those. See, not a fan of the color really, but I didn't know what else to do. I was going to do wall lights above the side tables, but then I think I just ended up putting in a couple of lamps there and moving the clock over so it looked normal. And then, yeah, some more window coverings. I don't know if I put carpet in all the bedrooms. I'm kind of hoping I did, because that was what I wanted to do. Like I said, the idea for this house was that it was a little bit outdated, or at least it was just built. It's not a newer build. It's not meant to be a new house. It's meant to be an older house. And then I just put in a bench there and I think a picture above it and just filled up as much as I could. I wanted to put a closet there, but I thought it looked way too cramped next to the bathroom door, so I just kept it like that. And then I chose that color because it's kind of matched their bedding a little bit. And then just building my basic bathroom with the wall. You won't see me build a bathroom without that wall. If I'm already in gameplay, then I'll place it without a wall, but if I'm building the house, I gotta have that wall. Yeah, so I put in the same countertops from the kitchen just because I like them, and to me they do look really outdated, or not really outdated, but like early 2000s, and yeah, for some reason I like that look. I don't mind the outdated look. And yeah, just some more clutter items for the bathroom. I don't think I ended up putting a laundry room in this house, so there's no laundry stuff in this house. And then this bathroom was meant to be a shared bathroom between the two kids, but it was harder to place things in the bathroom when there was two doors, so I had to remove the doors from the bedrooms and just put one in the hallway. And then I crammed everything in there. This bathroom is player tested, so it actually does work. I'm just paused right here because my husband was doing the brakes on my car and he came in and asked me to Google something. And I was like, okay, fair enough. If I'm sitting here playing The Sims and you're working on my car, I can interrupt this to Google something for you. But yeah, so it's player tested. The bathroom does work because all those, like the toilet and the sink and the shower, kind of push together a little bit, but it does work out. And then this room is meant for like a younger child. In the last build I did, the chocolate build I called it. I know it's a stupid name, but I couldn't think of anything. I did 2 girls' rooms, so I thought in this house I would do 2 boys' rooms, because I do prefer doing girls' rooms. I think they're just more, I don't know, they're just more fun to build and they look cute when they're done. But the boys' rooms are okay too, so I decided I would just do that. I realized I wasted a lot of space by putting that desk in there on an angle, but I don't know, I thought it looked okay, so I just kept it like that. And yeah, pause it again because I still had to Google something for my husband. Yeah, but so this room is meant for like a younger child, and then the other one, I used a lot of stuff, of course, from the Cats and Dogs game pack, and that one is meant for like an older kid. Not quite a teenager, just a little bit older, I guess. Even though there's only those two life stages or whatever, but that's okay. So I just put in the shelf with some toys on it, like a little dinosaur and whatever else I could find. And I did put that like transformer thing on the wall, but I do get rid of it later because it looks really silly there. Like I put that wallpaper and then it just doesn't match with the wallpaper, so I did get rid of it. Now just putting in that bed. I like all that stuff. All the kids stuff that came with cats and dogs. I really like it and I use it a lot because it's all really matchy and I'm into that. I like it. So I went with a red theme kind of for this room. Very, very cramped in there. It's a small room, so yeah, it's a little difficult, but that's okay. Everything works. The beds and like everything's player tested, and that there shouldn't be any problems with the furniture. Yeah, I just made the walls gray, and then I think that was all that I did. I put an end table upstairs in the hallway with just a little few decorative items on it, and then I put some like paintings and wall hangings in there too, because yeah, I don't like plain hallways. I don't think people often think to do anything with the hallways, but once you're getting your screenshots and you're kind of doing like an outside tour, you realize how weird it looks, so I put in some paintings there. And then I wanted this, for some reason, even before I built it, I envisioned this house being red. I did try some other colors and didn't like them, so I went with the red color. And I kept the landscaping to a minimum. I didn't really feel like going too crazy with the landscaping or the outside of the house. So yeah, I didn't go crazy. Sorry about the loud truck. I live in Hickville. Like everybody has a big loud truck where I live. So yeah, you're going to hear that a lot. So I put in some bushes and yeah, just some flowers and yeah, just to make it look like layered and textured and green. I think that's the only... Oh, there's actually a garden in the back too. But yeah, like I said, I was on a smaller lot, so I didn't have to worry too much about landscaping, which was good because I didn't really want to. And so this is the backyard now. I thought that I would put like half of it be a little patio and then the other half be like a place for the kids to play. But I ended up scrapping that. I thought a basketball hoop would fit in there, but it didn't really, so yeah, I scrapped that. But there I just put a little patio with a red umbrella because I thought it matched the rest of the house. And the barbecue. And I really like those lights, but I just used some shorter ones and put them on the sides of the house because they were the perfect length. Didn't put them across though because they didn't really work. And then I just used the wedding arch as a little archway into the garden because I thought it looked cute. It's not actually meant for weddings in this case. And yeah, none of the children's like play stuff fit in that little area, and the basketball hoop looked silly. So yeah, I just put in a little garden, I guess, and a bench, I think. So yeah, that side of the yard is pretty useless, but it looks nice. It doesn't look great, but it looks okay. Like I've always said, landscaping is not really my thing. I guess I don't care enough about it to really be good at it, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, that's the back. And I think that was all that I did. I think I just put in a little bench there. I don't think I did any terrain paint. Oh, I think I did put some trees around. That fountain just sticking in there. That did not work out. The little garden hose and like the wind chimes I thought looked really good there. So I did that, and then just a little terrain paint back there to make it look nice and flowery. And then, yeah, I put a couple of trees, downsized the smallest tree to make it even smaller, and put a couple in the front as well. And then I think now we're heading into the screenshots, so thanks for watching.